Live from the Export Beer Garden Studio and brought to you, as always, by Export Ultra, the beer for here. This is the agenda for Thursday, the 16th of January.
The Agenda Podcast, the home of sporting nonsense and claptrap. Brought to you by Export Ultra.
A very good morning and welcome back to G-Lane.
Yeah, great to be back. Great to be back. Is this about the time where everyone comes back? It is, eh? Or is it next Monday?
I think a lot of people were back this Monday just been.
Physically?
I think, yeah, physically. Certainly, there's a lot of people around just to conserve their leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just making up numbers.
Yeah. There's a lot of corpses in offices at the moment. There's a lot of lunch. Like on Monday, I went out for lunch and just the town was heaving. And I was like, it's everyone who's back on the Monday. Their boss isn't back yet or whatever. Yeah. It's like, I'll show up at about 9. I'll go to lunch at about 11:30. Yeah. Might not come back.
So you got a couple of more days of that. You got today and tomorrow. Yeah. But from Monday, I think that's probably when you're going to have to wait till Friday to do that.
Monday in earnest, yeah.
Yeah, pretend like you give a shit.
Yes.
Said it was a good break. Good break. Yeah. I didn't do any cricket over the break.
No, you went to Japan.
Yes, I went to Japan, visited my brother, the original G Lane, Greg Lane.
Yeah.
He's pretty pissed off I've stolen his name, to be honest. I didn't realise. Well, I didn't steal his name. Someone else did. But
it was given to you.
It was given to me.
It was forced upon you.
But no, it was great. Japan was like my phone emails didn't work, so that was great.
Perfect.
It's quite cold. It was quite cold. It was like 1 degree in Tokyo, and then went up skiing in the mountains. Tell you what, though, God, they know how to do a toilet over there.
Oh, really?
The toilet seat's warm.
Oh.
They have warmed toilet seats. Tremendous. Like I know they have the bidet where it washes your ring piece and stuff, which is amazing stuff. And my youngest son probably enjoyed it too much, to be honest. He would just sit there for ages and it was warm water because it's winter. They warm the water, so you have warm water blasting into your rusty sheriff's badge.
I've never used one of these things.
Oh, it's so good. You are missing out.
I am. Do they have like a joystick or something? How do you aim it? Or does it just squirt and you've got to like...
It's like a Patriot missile. It knows its target. No. You sit there on the... First of all, it's a warm toilet seat. So you sit down and you go... Because I only ever sit on a warm toilet seat. It grosses me out because it's usually some bastard before you has been sitting on there for too long and you're going, I've just sat on someone else's warm seat. Yeah. But in Japan, it's pre-warmed. So you go in there and you go, fuck, that's good. And then beside you is like the Star Trek type panel, which is like the control, like Captain Kirk situation with knobs and buttons. And I've made it more simple now because I've been to Japan in the past where it's just Japanese, like in kanji, but it's all in English now as well. So it says bum, front bum.
I suppose it's not the kind of thing you could use like symbols for.
No. They do symbols. There are symbols. It's like a bum cheek and then washing into it. And then there's got the girl one and it's got the washer. It's slight 45 because there's several functions. The first one, the basic one is the ring piece cleaner. Oh, yeah. And what happens is you press that and you hear this as an arm comes out from behind and it goes and you can change the pressure as well. So there is a bit of jiggery pokery because you can feel it when it first comes up. It hits you in the goose. You just got to shuffle forward a little bit, and then if you want more pressure, you just increase the pressure or decrease it. Whatever you do, like which was my kids did, was were curious about where it would come from and would like go up on one cheek and it hit the roof. And then there's another function which is for the females out there, which is the front bum one,
right? Which
goes a bit further and angles back and goes into the front bum.
Oh, you don't want that as a dude.
No. Wow. It has been known for people to just leave the beans down there and go for the front bum bean wash.
I don't want that. I once broke a phone because I was at the Auckland International Departure Lounge toilets there, and they've got those sensors, so you like wave your hand in front of it. But I leaned forward, and it just... triggered the sensor and it just flushed my nuts on the toilet and I dropped my phone and smashed it. So no phone for my holiday.
But it's great. They think of everything because in there's also some of the Real Flash ones have got a drying function as well. So they'll bring a hairdryer out and dry your ass. And then all you have to use the toilet paper for is really just to dab any wet spots around your cheeks.
Yeah.
But then also there's a button, like a button which plays music and general chit-chat.
To cover over the noises.
Over your farts. Yes. So you play that one and some music plays and you're like... You just rip ass and with complete and utter gay abandon.
Because they're very polite culture, aren't they?
Oh my
Japan?
God, yeah.
And I heard a theory that it comes from the cyclones that used to hit, or the typhoons. And so that's why they had the rice paper walls, because there's no point in having like wooden walls and the typhoon destroys your house every year. You get the rice paper ones, typhoon comes through, sweet ass, chuck new walls up.
Chuck the new paper up.
Byproduct of that is you can hear what everyone else is doing in your house. So you've got to be very polite, so it's an agreement. We all agree. Whatever you hear me doing, whatever I hear you doing, we don't talk about it.
Mate, and we went skiing, and this is something that New Zealand ski fields, if you do ski, need to employ. You get on the chairlift, like a 3 or 4 on the chairlift.
Yeah.
And normally in New Zealand, you get on the bottom of a chairlift and you then huddle up for dear life and hope you don't get hypothermia by the time you hit the top, because you're whirling like They've got these bubbles that you just bring over the top. Like instead of the safety bar coming down, a full bubble comes down over the top of you.
Yeah.
And you just sit there and you don't freeze your ass off. And my daughter's like, Japanese just think of everything, don't they? Warm toilet seats, your bum gets washed.
Yeah.
They have bubbles on the chairlifts. Yeah. They do actually think of everything.
They do. I've seen. Oh man, I got served this reel of a Japanese golf course and just the amenities that they have there, and the bloody sauna afterwards.
Oh, we went to a batting cage, the baseball batting cage.
Oh yeah,
that was mean. So basically, it's like a robotic arm pitches at you.
Yeah. And
you can play games. You can pick the speeds. The lowest speed, unfortunately, is 80 kilometers an hour, and that was a bit too much for my sons, who struck out 0 from 20. And it goes up to 120 kilometers an hour, which is quick. That's like I pretty much had to swing the bat as I could see the robot arm coming down.
It's a Daryl Mitchell beamer.
Yeah, pretty much.
Even a Southie beamer, probably.
Yeah, it was a good time. I'd highly recommend it. I mean, the most expensive part is getting there.
Yeah.
When you get there, it actually isn't too bad.
Is that right?
Yeah, like you can eat pretty cheaply if you go to the. Oh my God, my kids went to probably the 7-Eleven at least 3 or 4 times a day. Three or 4 times a day.
I've seen that there's good food. Everyone that goes there talks about the 7-Elevens.
Yeah, and you can get smoothies, and like you buy the smoothie cup full of frozen fruit, and then you buy it, and then you go to this machine and put it in, and it turns it into a smoothie and spits it out. Like the robotic stuff that happens everywhere. Restaurants, you go and you got an iPad, you just order stuff and it appears.
Yeah.
That's fucking mean.
They're having a problem with over-tourism at the moment, Japan? I've seen a bit of complaints around.
Yeah, there's a nationalist movement the original G-Lane was telling me about, which just hate all foreigners.
Yeah, well, they were locked off to foreigners for hundreds of years there.
Yeah, but they're still very friendly,
Yeah.
Very hospitable. Up in the ski mountains, it's Dingoville. There's fucking Aussies everywhere.
Yeah.
Holy shit. They are fucking everywhere. And I don't know if do you watch Travel Guides? That program, Travel Guides?
Oh, it's the different families?
Yeah, different Aussie families who go, oh my God, there's
the girls in the cowboy hat.
Yes.
There's the ginger dude with no chin.
Yes,
Yeah. I know
that's the one. Every Australian family we came across was like they were on Travel Guide, like, oh, Dale, oh my God, Dale. Like, have a look at this. Yeah, like everything was, oh my God, they're fucking loud as.
So it's like a train of sushi.
Just keeps on coming.
That is quite funny. I saw one of the Japanese airports has got fake sushi on the baggage carousel that comes around.
Oh, that's
Looks
good.
quite funny. They've got a good sense of humour.
Yeah.
Like a very unique sense of humour. I want to go over there. It's on my
it is
bucket
it's
list.
well worth it. It's bloody good. And given you're leaving and you're going to, big money on the radio breakfast show, you could probably afford to just nip over to Japan because you're leaving. You resigned on air, live on air on Hodaki when I was filling in.
It was one of the most unconventional departures of all time.
We've got an announcement for who is going to replace Matt Heath, and then we ring you.
Yeah.
And I'm on air and filling in for Matt Heath while he's resigned.
And I'm in Timaru.
Yes.
Oh, is it? Okay. So.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You're not leaving us for good, though. Obviously,
No.
you're still going to pest us on the podcast once a week. And mince their rugby league kicks off. Mad Monday.
Right. Yeah, so I'll still be around doing commentaries and podcasts, all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm going too far.
I like to think that we're like what used to be the Toyota Cup. We're the feeder division for Radio Hodaki at the moment. Jason Hoyt, Mike Minogue, Jeremy Wells even first. He first started on the ACC before Radio Hodaki.
Yeah.
Lee Hart.
That's right.
It's Chris Key, just a feeder program.
Yeah. this is how people, And then they're like, oh shit, they're actually pretty good, and then put them on the thing. I don't know. It's probably.
I'm still here though.
Just toiling away in the feeder league.
I don't mind. I could be the Marty Bella in the feeder league.
Well, it's like we were saying the entire time when we were filling in on it. It's like they were going to launch this big, wide and far search for the new host, and then they just got the two dudes from down the hallway, and that's where they that's where they landed. Look, God bless them.
So first show Monday.
Yeah.
Are you going to do anything outrageous? Are you going to do anything zany?
I'm going to do a
wacky
stunt.
Light your pubes on fire and is there going to be some hazing ceremony, like real hard case shit?
Live on a billboard for a week.
Fuck yeah.
Some sort of radio stunt. No, I don't know. We got a meeting after this. I don't know.
Let a flare off on the top of Rangitoto or something.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like the days of wacky radio stunts have been and gone.
But do you know? Have they been and gone, or is it a circle of life thing? You know how things come back.
Because that's what the live streamers and YouTubers and shit are doing. They do wacky zany
stupid
stunts.
Shit, yeah. They've taken the mantle.
It's not really in my nature, but
I know.
You must have seen some wacky zany.
Fucking working with Ian Stables, working with Polly Gillespie. There was some fucking fucked up shit.
Yeah,
I
mean, there was you bodybuilding. That was
Well, no, the best one, I think, which got us in the most amount of trouble was a motel in Matamata had removed an Indian family for cooking curry in the motel room because it was too stinky.
That's right.
And it hit the headlines, and we found out which hotel it was, and myself and Paul Flynn, massive piece of shit, Flinny, he's on More FM now. Me and him drove down there, booked a room. We took a massive speaker into the room and heaps of curries. Locked the door, barricaded the door, and live on Stables saying we played Punjabi MC, full volume, locked the door and started cooking curry, and the owners called the police. And so we had 3 police cars outside like banging on, let us in! We're like, and I can remember them saying, they were pretty good about it.
We parked at an angle outside the door.
So we parked at an angle like we were cooking meth.
Yeah.
And then they knocked on the door and they knew because they were listening to the radio, and they were like, "We know what you guys are up to, but you're gonna have to get the fuck out of here." And I was like, "Okay, good."
Fair enough.
So we packed up and left, but it was pretty funny.
Yeah,
stupid shit like that.
Yeah, well, we were talking to Ben was doing one of the commentaries with us, and he was talking about the time that they dressed up a radio host who shall remain nameless as a pilot.
Oh,
yes.
That
and tried to walk him through.
I'm surprised he talks about that because he doesn't really talk about that.
No, because he
fucking hates it.
He
thought he was going to jail.
Yes. Yeah. He went through the courts. It's like, it's quite traumatic for him. You can see it when he was retelling it. And I was like, well, I mean, it's basically terrorism what you did.
What was that? Pre or that was?
It was post.
Post.
It was post 9/11. It was in about like 2003 or something. And I was like, I think I know where you got the idea for that bit. Were you sitting there on September 11th and going, holy shit, I've got an idea.
Wasn't it the drunk pilot guy? I think we did that. That's right. No, with Stables we did that. We dressed up Flinny as a pilot because one of the pilots got done for
flying.
Drunk while they were flying. And so we sent Flinny down to the domestic airport dressed as a pilot, swigging from a bottle of Jack Daniels, asking people which flight they were on. He got a trespass order. He didn't try and go through the security.
That's where they went wrong.
Yeah, going through security.
Yeah, because they're going to take that pretty seriously, because otherwise someone who had an actual bomb could have just been like, it's a radio prank, you know?
Bring back the radio prank.
Yeah.
There's one or two maybe.
Yeah.
But proper ones, not ones that are set up.
No, God's honest ones. I mean, I like when you've genuinely got a question you don't know the answer to and sending someone out. Like when I was covering breakfast a while ago on Hodaki, and we used to send Mashy out with a different receptacle out to the coffee place.
Yes.
Because they said, we'll accept any keep cup. We're like, will you? So we went, plastic bag, will they accept that? Spray bottle, like a window cleaner spray bottle. They made a flat white into that. Yep. And the grand finale was 2 halves of a kinner.
Ooh.
And they did it, and they even drew the wee little love hearts on the top as well.
That would have been that.
And then we made them drink it.
That flat white would have been gross.
You can use a kinner as a keep cup. That's what we learned.
Yeah. Okay. So I mean, look, for factual things like that, then it's definitely what's required.
Look, I've got to be honest, if we've got a wacky radio stunt coming up on Monday, we've left it real late to try and organise.
Oh, there's always some of the best, though, the last-minute wacky ones.
Yeah, well, you'll have to tune in on Monday to find out. All right, let's take a break and we'll come right back and talk some sport. Have you seen the video? In fact, I know you've seen the video. Yeah. It's in our group chat of Sam Konstas. So if you haven't seen it, and we'll post it on social media, it's security camera footage of Sam Konstas. It looks like he's showing up to training.
Yes, it's at maybe Cricket Australia HQ or something.
He's got his coffin with him. He's parked his car and he's walking along. And somebody sees him, pulls up, parks their car, jumps out, presumably to get a selfie with him.
Parks like a demon, I must admit. He pulls in, reverses, nails the park.
Into a accessible park.
It does look like it, doesn't it?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it was blue with the yellow thing. Then he jumps out with his phone in his hand to run over to get a photo of Konstas. But what he's done is he's forgotten to put the handbrake on, and so in the background his car starts rolling out of the park.
It's a Toyota Land Cruiser. It's a big car.
Yeah. And then it just rolls across the parking lot and just caves in a Toyota Camry across the parking lot as he's running back.
The best thing is he sprints off with the phone, ready for the selfie, and then he quickly looks back and goes, fuck, and has to do a U-turn.
This is a grown man who's jumped out of his car and let it crash to get a photo with a 19-year-old.
Have you ever done a selfie with someone?
Nah.
That you've got a big boner for? Like if the lead singer of the Queens of the Stone Age came in.
Oh, Josh Homme.
Yeah.
I think I'd be too nervous. I think that's too big. But, I met Ben Hurst the other day, a halfback, 3-time Super Rugby winning halfback for the Crusaders, and I took a selfie with him.
Didn't you just do that because he's from Oamaru?
He made me do it.
He made you do it. Let's have a selfie.
Send it to your mates. So, yeah, that's the only selfie I've taken.
I've only ever thought about it once, and that was with when I emceed a lunch and Kerry O'Keefe was the... But then I felt too stink doing it anyway, because I sat next to him the whole time and talking to him.
Yeah.
And I felt it was better that my memories of him would be telling stories of what we talked about rather than an uncomfortable selfie of skull and...
Yeah. I would rather... I don't think I'd ever take a selfie with... I would ask someone else to take a photo of me and Josh Homme.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. Getting a group shot, and arms around, thumbs up, rather than kind of... Yeah.
I got a photo with Kevin Hart. He came in and he hosted an hour of radio with Flavour.
That's right. That's when Athena was on.
Did the Lord's work, did Athena. He came in
strangely, he didn't do one radio interview.
Didn't with anyone else.
Anyone except Athena.
But he did say, his handlers said, if we get the chance, we'll come over and we'll do a quick chat with you guys, because we were on Hodaki, me and Matt Ward, just down the hallway. So, but in the end, he didn't come in. But they said, come in and get a photo with him, but he's not going to come on your radio show. And so we come in there, he goes, hey guys. And I was like, oh, hey man, we've just been telling everyone that you're coming on our radio show all day. And he goes, ha ha, yeah. And took the photo and then walked out. Okay. Very cool.
I wonder why he spent an hour with Athena on Flavour. I just don't know what. I'm trying to put two and two together, but I can't work it out.
So they met at his show the night before. And at some point between then and the next day, she convinced him to do an hour on her radio show. I don't know. Wild to me. I've seen someone do this move where they park the car and forget to put the handbrake on.
Yeah.
It was when we were over in the UK, and we went to the fish and chip shop in Uckfield, West Sussex, and we were East Sussex, and we walked into the fish and chip shop, and full disclosure, may have been disrespecting the whakamanas out in the car before we walked into the fish and chip shop. So we sat, and three of us parked across the road, 3 different spots in the fish and chip shop, and we sat there and didn't talk to each other. There were about 10 people in this fish and chip shop. It was very busy. And this American dude that was with us just looked out the window and goes, oh shit. And my mate Gus looks out the window and our car is rolling back down the hill. And we've just ordered the fish and chips, so it's like rolling very slowly but picking up pace. So Gus goes, hey, Gus didn't say anything, I didn't say anything. Thomas just goes, oh shit. Gus gets up, runs out of the door, sprinting across the thing, fumbling with the keys in his pocket to get the old duk-duk going. And then he opens the door, dives in, his legs are dangling out of the back of the car as it's rolling down the hill. And just as it vaults the curb and is about to hit this like lotto store. He rips the handbrake off, locks it, and just leaves it half parked on the thing, half parked on the street. Walks back in and sits down and doesn't say a thing. And everyone in the shop is like looking at the three of us like, what the fuck just happened there?
It's a lost art form because these days with automatics, you put it in park, you don't need the handbrake. It's a lost art form. It's manual, so you religiously have to put the handbrake on.
Yeah, that is a good point. Park puts a wee bar through it, doesn't it? So I've been in this constant situation, but that was just stoned getting fish and chips.
There's probably a whole generation of people out there who are like, what are you talking about? Like, you just put it in park, it doesn't move.
Yeah. I've got a manual car. It's a novelty, but God, it sucks around the city.
It's kind of retro now, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Chris Wood, turns out he's pretty good at soccer. Have you heard the Chris Wood song?
I haven't.
Okay, I think we've got the Chris Wood song here.
Do you know how good Chris Wood is? I bet you don't. 'Cause Chris Wood, I didn't see
No one saw it coming.
Great pipes. Wondering where the beat was coming in, when the drop.
So, yeah, Chris Wood, he's absolutely tearing it up. He scored again yesterday against Liverpool.
Yeah.
1-1. But he's just gone on and it's sort of come late. I think he's my age. I think he's 33.
He's on a heater. He's on a real heater. And so are Nottingham Forest.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like they're almost playing for a European Cup.
Is that right?
Because the top 4, because the top 2 go to Champions League, and then 3 and 4 do this other European League.
Yeah.
Europa. Yeah.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
He is very good. He's very good at soccer. I think after this season, I know we talked about it last year. I think after this season, you've probably got to give him best footballer we've ever produced.
Ooh.
Over
Winton
Rufer. Yeah, I think so. I don't know. I mean, I'm not the football guy, but like I was saying.
Well, he got European Footballer of the Year, of the decade.
Winton Rufer?
Yeah.
That's tough to top.
Yeah.
It is tough to top.
But he just didn't get enough coverage like the EPL does over here.
Yeah.
But if he has another red hot season over there, then it could be a contender.
Yeah, and then my point last year was if he's the greatest footballer we've ever produced, and football's the biggest sport on the planet, is he the greatest athlete New Zealand's ever produced?
That's some hot takes.
The estate of Jonah Lomu is probably not too happy about that take, but
they're in turmoil anyway. Yeah. They won't. This one will totally go through to the keeper.
They got a bit on.
They got a bit on.
But yeah, no, Chris Wood, turns out he's pretty good. I think that video's up on our Instagram as well. Hot take alert from McConey. Turns out it's true. Sean Stevenson is leaving.
I could have told you that because he was on the same flight as me to Tokyo on the 27th of December. I was at arrivals and I was like, fuck, that's a big bastard. I was like, fuck, it's Sean Stevenson. And I was like, oh, it is true. He was Poor bugger was on his own, fumbling through the immigration system because you got to do fingerprints and all sorts of shit.
Yeah, he's got a bunch of bags, I'd imagine.
He had his All Black carry-on with his initials and the All Black logo taped over with not black tape. Black tape would have made sense because you wouldn't have seen the tape.
Yeah,
it was like beige brown tape, and I was like, oh man, he's moved on quick.
Yeah.
So the Adidas carry-on was his SS was covered up, which is problematic anyway.
Yep.
And the All Black logo, but left the Adidas on there.
Well, because he wants people to know. It's a power move showing up to the club with your All Blacks kit. It's like, for copyright reasons, I'm going to tape over it, but you guys know what I've worn here.
Yeah. So no, that I should have actually taken a photo and whipped it through in the hot take. In the hot take feed. I thought I did send it through, but maybe I sent it to the wrong feed.
You sent us a text saying you've just seen Sean Stevenson on your flight. But
yes, there you go.
Why not have a Japanese team in Super Rugby and have players who play there that are still eligible for the All Blacks? Then you can make the same amount of money. I guess the problem with that is the Sunwolves, we tried that. It was just not financially viable to fly back and forth to Japan.
I went to a game over there. I went to the Tokyo Rams versus the Sun Goliath Sunglath was one with Sam Kane in it, but he wasn't playing because he got injured in the first game again. TJ Perenara, he plays for the Tokyo Rams. So we went to that game because my wife's work buddy's brother plays in the Rams. And that was good. It was good fun. Like, it was a decent crowd. I'd say a crowd bigger than a Super Rugby crowd.
Yeah. Good merch.
Great merch, great food, great beers. And then at the end of the game, everyone tidies up. So everyone gets a plastic bag with your food and your beers, and you're expected to just pick up all your shit and take it to the bin. They don't have a clean-up people who come around. People just take their own shit.
That makes sense.
Oh, fucking total sense.
But you couldn't do that here because people would be like, I'm not going to clean up. Fuck that.
I paid my ticket price, cunt.
Yeah. You clean it.
But anyway, the Tokyo Rams, coached by Tubby Manson.
Oh, yeah?
So many Kiwis in there. You're looking at the starting line. There's heaps of Kiwis who young players who obviously missed out on a Super Rugby contract and just go over in there. Great lifestyle.
Yeah. It's an adventure you're living over there. It's a cool place. And, you know, you're a professional athlete. I feel like we get so down on dudes who are like, nah, they're going to leave New Zealand. It's like, oh, you've given up on the dream. No, you get to play rugby for a job.
Yeah, and you get to play in some pretty mean locations in Japan. And I know that, Tom Florence, the ginger open side flanker.
Robinson.
No, there's another one. He plays for the Chiefs. He's in the Chiefs wider squad.
Oh,
he's
right.
over there.
Yeah.
Tom Robinson was there, but he found himself. He went all yoga-y and found himself.
Yep.
But it was good. It was a good time. I enjoyed it. The crowd they're so polite and nice.
Yeah.
Like everyone there's a lot of squealing. Ooh, yeah, a lot of squealing when these big hits.
Yeah.
DJ Perenara dominated, obviously.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's the size of their props.
Yeah, he was. Oh, there were some big units there.
Were there?
Yeah, because because you're only allowed 2 internationals per team.
Yeah.
But heaps of other foreigners are playing who haven't played for their country.
So you might actually be better off not getting the cap. No, you still make a lot more money.
As soon as you get the cap, your price increases.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd say Sean Stevenson's going to carve up over there. He's going to be good.
So I think he is going to. They're basically giving him like a sabbatical for this year, kind of thing, where he's going to go and play. That's why he's over there now.
Yes, because he's injury cover for someone.
Yeah, and he's going to play, and then he's going to come back. I think he'll miss the first week of Super Rugby, and then he's going to play Super Rugby.
Oh, okay.
I think that's basically how the agreement that they came to.
What do you want to do though? Is just go over, play barnstorming 3 or 4 games, make such a big impression over in Japan. They're like, we need to sign that guy.
Someone has to, yeah. Mr. Panasonic's like,
yeah,
he's got to come play for us. I think, couldn't we align their season's not very long.
No, it's real short.
Well, surely we could bump Super Rugby back and just let our boys go and play there.
Yeah.
And then get your cash and come back play Super Rugby.
Well, that was the argument around the Bodie Barrett situation where he wasn't allowed to play for the Blues.
Yeah,
and
that's
then they wouldn't let him play in the final, remember?
Yeah. It was a little bit squirrely. Anyway, I think that, New Zealand Rugby's going to have to do something like that. Snubs from the Black Caps Champions Trophy squad. I presume you've seen the team.
Yeah, I don't mind it. The Whakamana Express, Lockie Ferguson is back, which is a great call because he's on fire in the over in the BBL.
Yeah,
great move.
I think I don't even know if it's a snub, but I think the only not questionable selection, but Ben Sears over Jacob Duffy.
Yes, particularly after the last series, from what I saw.
Yeah.
In terms of, I just saw stats. I didn't watch anything.
No, Duffy. I mean, there was one of those T20s. Duffy just turned the whole thing on its head. I think he had 4. If he didn't have 4 wickets in the over, he had 4 in like an over and a half, and it was quite noticeable that Duffy just grabbed the game by the scruff of the neck.
I'd imagine he'll play like
Sears.
No, Duffy.
Right.
In terms of injury cover, they'll probably still. Do they still take him?
I don't know. If you're going to take someone, I reckon it's him. The only thing I could think would be, is he? If you've got Will O'Rourke, do you need Jacob Duffy? Would be the only thing I would think. You know, just giant seamer.
Yeah, maybe. I don't.
I guess the other thing is Ben Sears can get it cranking.
Yeah.
He's a 150er, isn't he, Sears?
Yeah, he was a few years ago, wasn't he? With the big pukana as he bowls.
Pops out from behind the umpire of pukanas and throws a lightning bolt down at the batsman. So yeah, I don't know. And I know he's been injured, so I guess maybe the confusion or why it's raised question marks for people is because we've just watched Duffy carve up.
Yeah.
Whereas Sears has been out injured. So, yeah, but other than that, I don't think. I mean, there's the classic on social media, people being like, oh, Kane Williamson's over, Tom Latham's over.
Remember last time they said Kane Williamson's over, he went over and he scored 100, 80, whatever.
90.
He's not. It's Kane Williamson.
It's Kane Williamson.
It's our best batsman ever. We keep hold of him until he's 80 if he's scoring runs.
Because, by the way, if Richard Hadley says tomorrow he wants to come play, he's in.
Yeah, absolutely. Who's better than Kane Williamson at the moment in domestic cricket?
No, I don't know.
There's no one.
I could not tell you. Yeah.
Whoever's criticising you, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
I hate it when people get to the end of their career and they don't perform a couple of times. Then, mate, it's all over.
Yeah.
It's all over.
100%. It's like, it's still Kane Williamson. And like I always say, do what your opponent doesn't want you to do. And if we're playing against, Pakistan over there or whoever, and they're like, what, they haven't picked Kane Williamson? Oh, fuck yeah, this is going to be a walk in the park,
Totally.
So that's why you got to keep picking him. I had another question for you around cricket, and it's the BBL thing is now, like Finn Allen's playing over there. There's a couple of others that
Milne?
Yep, Adam Milne is over there. Pakamana Express. These guys would have all Seifert's, I think he's the captain of the team he's playing for. These guys would have all played in the ODI series, would they not? Or the T20 at least?
Yeah, at least the T20.
I mean, Seifert, when our man Latham was out with the side strain for the T20s, surely Seifert would have been in there instead of Mitch Hay.
There is, this is the issue we've got, is the players not taking central contracts. So and taking casual contracts, like Lockie Ferguson is playing in this World Cup, but he isn't a central contract. So he's just, and same with Kane Williamson. Kane Williamson doesn't have a central contract, but he said, I'll play a few tests and a few. So the president's, the door's been unlocked now.
By Trent.
By Trent, and the players know that. So the whole central contract system is going to have to be re-looked at.
Big time.
Because we haven't got enough money to, like Australia and England and India pay their players enough to play test cricket and everything that they actually need or want to play in those IPL leagues until later on in their career.
Right, okay.
Like people like Ben Stokes doesn't play T20s.
Having said that, Duckett is and Bethel is playing.
I suppose there's a few of the younger ones, but I mean...
If you're Jacob Bethel, make hay.
Yeah, totally. I mean, you've just been picked out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So to play for your country.
He scored in the game yesterday, he scored 80 and took 2 for 29.
Does he bowl?
Yeah, he bowls offies.
Oh, shit. Oh, that's right, he did bowl in the test series. But it's going to be an issue because we don't have enough money to keep our best players exclusively to play for New Zealand anymore.
No.
So
we're going to have to align somehow with the BBL. Well, not necessarily the BBL. I don't think dudes are making a mint in the BBL, but it is a good...
Certainly more than the Super Smash.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Do we just put a couple of teams in the Big Bash? Or does Australia need it, though? Do they want... That's one of those things. Do they need it? Probably not.
I don't think they give a shit. But that's what I was thinking as well. We put a team in there and then try and align our international window with that so that we can have all those players.
Yeah.
Like that, it won't all be Kiwis in our team. They'll still get distributed around the league like they are now. But
I suppose the issue is if the Kiwi Carnivals or whatever go and play the Sydney Sixers in Sydney, will they get a full house?
Nah, it's a good point. They'll be like, what? You want us to fly to Auckland once Wellington?
And we look at the crowds over here. Would we get 30,000 for the Renegades versus the Auckland Wounders? I don't know. Nah. We wouldn't do ourselves any favours. We could prove to them, like the Warriors, that there's a need for it. The fact that the Warriors are the only NRL team that sold out the home games all year, for the NRL, they're like, fuck yeah, this is going gangbusters. If we did that with BBL and we got 40,000 people to watch every BBL game that came to New Zealand, yes.
Yes, but as it stands...
Can't get that into even international games.
Couldn't get that to Eden Park, no. So, yeah, that's a good point. All right, the Snagger-Changi Sports Awards. This is a new initiative from the alternative commentary collective, the Changies, we're calling them, a prestigious event recognising and honouring outstanding achievements in New Zealand sports. With 9 categories, the Changies set out to congratulate excellence whilst inspiring other sports people to aim high and achieve greatness.
Yeah, I'm enjoying these. The Snagger-Changi Big Nuts Awards for the Commentator's Curse of the Year is a front runner for this one.
It's Keezy.
It's Keezy with his Warriors curse.
Yeah.
The Sean Fitzpatrick Pink Fist Award for the most bizarre marketing campaign of the year. So I'm so glad whoever did these awards found the Pink Fist footage.
Yeah.
Because it's quite hard to find.
Yeah.
Of him driving around in that Pink Fist. The Justin Marshall Frosted Tips for the best hair. The Changi Clanger Award for the least sportsmanlike behaviour of the year, the John Key 3-way handshake, the most awkward moment. But the list goes on.
Yeah.
It's the Halbergs for the non-sporting.
Yeah. That's right. It's all the stuff when you watch those Earnest Sports Awards and you're like, oh, yeah, but those weren't the parts that I remember of this year in sports.
Correct.
This is the stuff that you remembered from this year in sports. So it's all going to be in there. And there is going to be a live event as well.
Hosted by Lee Hart and the ACC.
An awards night.
What's the opposite of a black tie event? Bare feet.
Put it this way. Barefoot event. I don't know. No tie.
Yeah.
Anyway, you can vote now either on socials, go and have a look, or text VOTE to 3236 for all the details. And now for the first time in 2025, we're going to take a break and come back with Yours Please.
Yours, please. Brought to you by Leader, home of the lasagna topper.
If you're new around here, this is your chance to get involved in the podcast. There's a microphone button on the iHeartradio app. If you go and push it, we will play it out on the podcast like this. Yours, please.
G'day, fellas, we're back! Woo! I didn't realise we were back on the podcast. I thought I had found bigger and better things. But I heard old young Mashy talking about it, so I had to go jump on, and my fucking Bluetooth speaker's broken. So I'm listening to it on crap quality on my phone while I'm driving. But hands-free, all of that jazz. Yeah, love yous. Good shit. Love yous, fuck yous, and fuck South Canterbury.
Is he in a tractor?
Yeah,
or
I
a
don't
truck?
know. Tractor or truck? I don't know. Get a set of headphones going. The Bluetooth speaker. Oh, God,
You're driving, listening to a Bluetooth speaker.
Yeah, I hope no one else is in the car. You're just punishing them with a podcast.
A bit like your dad.
What?
You're punishing the whole family with a gender podcast.
Yeah, with their gender podcast.
You got young siblings listening.
Yeah. And because anyway. Well, it's like you don't want to have to think about your sister sitting in the corner of the room while you're recording a half-assed sporting podcast. Anyway, go and get yourself a set of headphones or a new speaker.
Yeah.
It's good to be back. It's good to be back. And like we said at the top of the podcast, we'll still be around. Oh, I'll still be around.
Yeah, I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah. All right, another caller here. Yours, please.
Oh, fellas, you're back. You're back. Thank God you're back. Oh, honestly, Manai, I was worried. The agenda just stopped so suddenly. And then the announcement about you being Hodaki, I was concerned. I knew the agenda wouldn't last without you. G-Lane doesn't know how to work hard.
Fucking hell.
Anyway, thank God you're back. And fuck South Canterbury.
I didn't deserve that straight. No. In there, fucking hell.
That was yeah.
But it's true.
It was a stray. Like I said, I'll be around stuff throughout the week. And I got to be honest with you, I didn't think anyone was going to notice that the podcast had stopped over the summer. So it's good to know that it means something to.
Yeah, well, I think we filled it with some commentary highlights throughout the summer for people who missed out on the cricket.
Which I listened to, and I was shocked and delighted at how much you get a feel for the game from listening to those. Yeah,
I mean, if you don't want to listen to 3 hours of a T20, you can listen to 30 minutes of a highlights podcast.
Yeah, and you get like it's a genuine. Because I used to listen to it just because it was all the dumbest yarns and funniest yarns that you'd listen to. But you actually do get a sense of how the game went. And listening back to it, I had a better idea of how a couple of those games went than when I was actually commentating it.
Because if you're off air, you're usually out doing something else and not listening.
You're not really paying attention. And then it was that game where Duffy took all those wickets. And I was like, we really glossed over that during the commentary because there'd been like I don't know if it was a rain delay or like injury delays, all sorts of shit. And we sort of lost focus a little bit there. But anyway, we're back for the year. The Agenda podcast will continue throughout 2025. But this one won't continue for much longer. Let's knock it on the head.
Hey, I've just got one. We've got some complaints just been sent through around our commentary over the summer.
Oh, shit.
An official to the legal team.
Did we actually?
Yeah, we did. And it was about disparaging comments on the late Fred Goodall.
I don't even know who Fred Goodall is.
He was the umpire that Jerry walked in on having a shit at Basin Reserve. And someone is highly offended at that comment and the fact that we disrespected such a great New Zealand umpire, talking about the fact we walked in on him having taken a massive turd at the Basin Reserve. And I saw that from the legal team and they said, do we need to follow up on this one? I'm like, fuck, if that's it, fucking sweet. No.
Yeah.
And no, we don't have to follow up on that.
Well, hang on. Is it defamatory to say that someone took a shit?
Well, he's dead.
Oh, well, fuck him then.
He's dead.
You cannot defame the dead.
But when I saw the email pop up with the headline, I was like, oh, here we go. Because usually there's quite a few, and it's usually fucking something quite spicy that it's been talked about. And then I saw that, and I was like, oh, what? Is that it? Okay, fine. As you were.
Of all the things that we talked about this summer.
An old umpire
Yeah.
taking a crap in the Basin Reserve.
I didn't even know who he was. Well, first of all, not defamatory. Second of all, even if it is, you can't defame the dead.
Nothing defamatory about walking on someone having a dump.
People take dumps.
I think it was about just the disparaging comments around that, and potentially he died a few months later, and I think we talked about the fact that shock may have brought forward his demise.
Oh, that's great. Oh, well, if that's all there was over the summer,
We'll
great.
keep them coming in. Keep the complaints coming in.
Fire them through. All right, that'll do us for today. We'll see you tomorrow. We are going to be down in Christchurch for the Black Clash.
Yes, Black Clash live from tomorrow from Chicha.
Yeah.
And we've got a pre-game going on at the Richmond Club on Saturday. The big show,
Rickerton Road? No.
The big show are doing their show there tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then we are doing a pre-game drinks on the Saturday with a free bus from the Richmond Club.
Perfect.
To the ground, because it doesn't start till 6:30.
Quite late.
6:45 actually. I just saw the run sheet.
Yeah.
So plenty of time for some Export Ultra warm-ups.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Come down and say good day. We'll either see you then or we will see you on this podcast feed tomorrow. Either way, hooroo.
You've been listening to the ACC's Agenda podcast, brought to you by Export Ultra. For more episodes, like and follow on iHeartradio or wherever you get your podcasts.